Keep you entertained over the Christmas period and into the new year. Plenty to discuss here in the studio with Thierry Henry and Guillaume Balaguer after Real Madrid 0, Barcelona 3. But let's go back to the first half. How did Real Madrid set up, Guillaume, to try and take care of Lionel Messi?
This is key, I think, because, and we've been talking about this for the whole game, because they decided to put a fourth midfielder, but a midfielder that had the main job of defensive, almost like in a holding position, but when he had Messi next, he had to man-mark him. You can see here how his decision is actually to look after Messi and not so much to see where the ball is or where the danger is, really. Man-mark Messi when he's close to him, and that's key, of course, for the goal.
And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Danger. You're going to have to go and follow Rakitic and stop him running with the ball. He didn't. Sergio Roberto says Suarez, and it's a goal. But for me, I cannot understand why he didn't actually. When you get the ball here, Kovacic, this is your job. He stays with Leo. He doesn't even track back. I mean, I just don't understand. At one point, at that particular moment, I know you've been given a role. Look at him getting away from the camera. You don't even see him on the screen anymore. Kovacic, you have to stop that counter on Rakitic. If he passes the ball to Leo, you can deal with that after. But he just is here. And he moves away, allow Rakitic to go inside. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, you have to stop that. And obviously they got punished.
He's interpreting what's going to happen. And 99% of the time, that ball at some point ends up with Messi. Messi maybe giving the pass or whatever. But quite cleverly, I think Messi understands, and he's so intelligent at interpreting what's going on. He understands, if I move away from the move, we lose a player. We lose a Real Madrid player.
Because that's exactly what was happening in the first half. But whoever saw that, you have to stop the counter. You know, if Leo gets the ball there, he gets the ball on the outside of it, not in the heart of your team, being able to drive when you almost, what happened is exactly what happened. When he went in, they had a 3v2. Yeah. It was kind of unreal for me to look at it because obviously he got a job to do. But at one point, you have to forget about your job and play football and stop the counter.
And just after the hour mark, the goal that pretty much killed the game, Casemiro losing possession, and that's what led to it, isn't it, Guillaume?
Yes, and he loses possession, and he's fine. He goes down. But look at 1, 2, 3, 4 players with just a little bit of a run from that position. 4 players of Real Madrid are not tracking back, but they still got 6. And you would think there's still enough to stop this, but they just don't.
And this is almost comedy, isn't it? What's going on here with Dani Carvajal?
Well, if you're a Madrid fan, I don't know if they're going to take it as comedy, but it's almost weird because I was like, oh, Suarez missing, but then they got the best out of it because they got a penalty, a goal, obviously, and a red. So, you know, you got exactly what you wanted. But on that goal, the run of Piqué, allowing the pass to Suarez to get the ball in a 1v1 situation, and we all know what happened. Lionel Messi, again, scoring away from home at the Bernabeu, a very important goal. I've seen that so many times. I've seen that celebration so many times over there. You know, I think it's 7 out of 10 that they won at the Bernabeu or something like that. I mean, it's just
the last 3 as well.
It is something when you think about it. This is just crazy when you think about it. But the run of Piqué, I mean, that run, to allow that pass, it's very important. Runs are underestimated at times, but very efficient.
And what about the creative talents of Lionel Messi for 3-0? And Alex Vidal on the score sheet.
Yeah, from the moment that Carvajal was sent off.
Was the ball out?
Even though they were...
Who cares?
Of course, you know, there are more spaces, and then you could have, if it wasn't Alex Vidal, it could have been somebody else. They just went for it. There was a moment with Real Madrid after the sending off of Carvajal, they used their pride and had a couple of chances. But if given this opportunity, of course, with Barcelona deciding to kill the game off, there were 3 players there with the possibility of finishing that one off, and it was Alex Vidal finally.
Not that Real Madrid didn't have chances at 2-0 down, and Gareth Bale came off the bench. Should he have scored, though, Thierry?
Well, you find yourself in a situation, where it always happens with Real Madrid. They believe that they can come back in the game. Should he have scored? He could have scored, obviously, he didn't. But they always believe that they can come back, and yeah, you know, the ball is a bit behind him on his right foot, that's why you see him falling. Yes, he should have scored, but it's not an easy one. I've been in those situations so many times. He's trying to fall with it, trying to score. If he hits it the other way, his standing leg will block the ball. You need to take that in consideration. The ball is here. If you shoot there, that your own leg will stop the ball. He's on his right foot. Yes, he could have scored, but it's not an easy one. That chance doesn't define the game. And could they have come back into the game? No, not for me. But yes, he could have scored.
Frustrating day for Ronaldo. How did you assess his performance, Guillaume?
So I think when strikers score almost with their eyes closed is because you seem to be in the flow. Everything that you try goes and it comes off. In his case, he's been out of the flow for a little while. I know that he's been scoring in the Champions League, but this kind of mistake where he doesn't time the kick, and he's good on his left foot, he has been for a long while, or where he shows frustration by trying things far too early, where he cannot beat defenders. At least he's simple in the way that he tried to do this, and it was a very good save from Ter Stegen. Again, Ter Stegen had 2 or 3 fantastic moments in the Clasico. But you see, he cuts a figure of a frustrated forward. He doesn't need to do any of this. None of it. Unless he's doing it for his son, for the pleasure of his son enjoying that. But no reason to shoot from there either. So you're talking about 2 forwards, not just Cristiano, Benzema as well, who not scoring for Real Madrid, and that explains a lot of what's been happening to them.
What about the Sergio Ramos yellow card? Could it have been a red card? What was your view of this incident, Thierry?
That was a red. He got lucky with it, he got away with it. Well, what actually is funny, in bracket, is he complains after. I mean, when you do something like that, and we all did stuff that you don't want to do, just walk away, you got the yellow, sorry, bye-bye. Look at this, bam. You see it maybe if you have another angle, but he complains after. That's what I was like, hang on a minute, you got out of jail. Go back in your position and let it be. But I don't think that Suarez was trying to get him sent off there. I think he was very fortunate to stay on the field there.
It felt like, because Casemiro had an encounter with Suarez just a few minutes early, it sounded like the captain just going on the revenge. And he sometimes takes that role far too loosely.
14 points then, the deficit for Real Madrid to Barcelona. What about the psychological damage done by this result at home to their bitterest of rivals?
Well, it doesn't help. You saw straight away, I think it was an image of Marcelo staying there with his hand on the side of his body, and he was just looking at it. Ronaldo looked defeated. It's 14 points. That's a lot. Now, can Valencia beat Villarreal? It's a local derby. It's very difficult. We'll see what's going to happen. You would have thought that Real Madrid, coming up from winning the World Championship tournament, club level, obviously, would have been, buzzing. Ronaldo scored. He scored the winner in the final. You're playing Barca at home, but once again, there's something that I wanted to mention. They didn't concede. Once again. And ultimately, as great as you can be on the ball, as great as you can be passing it, and teams that win titles do not concede a lot of goals.
And 18 clean sheets in 25 games, all unbeaten.
And if you take our own Man City in this league, they don't concede also, as much as they're scoring, And that's something for me. That's what we were talking about it before. Valverde brought that into it. Is it because Dembele is not there and they went into a 4-4-2? I've seen it last year, like I said, with Luis Enrique at the Bernabeu last year. But there is a togetherness. There is a joy of also not conceding goals at the same time that they enjoy playing football. And when you're in the Barca dressing room, they always use the word enjoy. But people always focus on when they have the ball, which is, don't get me wrong, amazing. But off the ball is important too.
Guillaume, did Zinedine Zidane get it wrong today? Starting with Kovacic, had choices, Bale or Isco instead of that?
Had choices, and hindsight is a wonderful thing, and it will be pointed out that he went at the Santiago Bernabéu to try not to lose against Barcelona in a way. Perhaps he had a different plan for the second half, but he should have gone for it, I feel. The thing that happened in the Super Cup was that he went for it from the beginning, and he had good choices on the bench. But to be honest, when a team is a negative dynamic, and I know they went to the Club World Cup and won, it wasn't against the biggest of opposition, but when it's going down, you want to hold on to something. There's a tactical change, or there's a structure, or there is Ronaldo scoring, but the guys that come from the bench are actually saving us. And at the moment, there's nothing. There's nothing. So you can only see that them changing their mentality once it gets close to the Champions League or to the Cup in January, but obviously giving up on the league.
When you lose a game, people are always going to tell you that you got something wrong, obviously, because you lost the game. But let's not forget that Zizou Zinedine Zidane, sorry for those who don't know that, Zizou.
You can call him Zizou if you
Yeah,
want.
so you won 5 cups in 1 year. And straight after lifting the last one, you come back, you get beaten, trouble already. You know, it's not an easy job, it's not an easy one. It's been more than successful since it's been there. Obviously, things didn't go the right way today, but, you know.
And how hard is it to concentrate in the league, in those games when you play away, I don't know, to Eibar or whatever, when you've been winning so much?
You just don't think about it, in all fairness. You try to take a game at a time, but they gave us 2 years of dominating, almost. With Barcelona tried to stop that run, obviously, and they're doing even more so this year. We're talking about a team that retained the Champions League. We're talking about a team for the first time also that retained the World Championship since the new format. So, I mean, and we're saying, you know, but you always get judged on what you're doing and not what you did. But I just wanted to put that out there. I thought that Zizou did a tremendous job. Yes, today might have got some things wrong. But, you know, I said to you, if there is a team that can come back, and we all know that, you know, I'm a Barca guy when it comes to La Liga. That team always have an history of coming back. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back, though, this year, but they don't die easily.
Yeah, they are synonymous with the word remontada, aren't they, in Spain? And we'll see what role they still have to play in the La Liga title race in 2017-18. We're going to take a short break, the other side of which we're going to discuss the ramifications of this result. A very symbolic one, of course, for Barcelona in the Spanish capital after the Catalan regional elections, but also transfer window opens in 9 days' time. So how busy will these clubs be?
This programme is sponsored by Bet365.
Welcome back. Plenty still to discuss with Thierry and Guillaume here in the studio. Before we do, almost Christmas, so let's have a look at the best goals of 2017 in La Liga.
Capo's cross, good one. Drops for Danny Garcia. Sensational strike from the Eibar captain. First goal of the season, and wow, it was really special.
Looking for Munir, the youngster on loan from Barcelona, plays it inside to Zaza! What a goal from Zaza! It is the same player who spent half a season at West Ham United, but they never saw anything like that. Sensational! Here's Griezmann. Carrasco, Griezmann! What a remarkable goal from Antoine Griezmann. Every time. A lot of credit in the back, his team here on defence. Oh, what a goal! What a fantastic goal! And Sergio Leon creates something out of nothing whatsoever.
Now, another chance, this time buried by Messi.
Well, he picks it up in his own halfway line, beats 1-2 players. He's got Galvez, he goes, what a body swerve that is. Then inside right foot, that is just world class.
Damian Suarez over the top. Begara lays it back. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful goal! Shibasaki! Eat your heart out, Lionel Messi. Luis Morales, just whipping across, and the effort. Oh, it's a sensational goal, scored by Chema, the central defender. He's lashed it on the volley. What a goal!
Great pass from Kondogbia, and Guedes in for 4. Yes. Devastating pace, and the pass from Kondogbia was simply delightful. Goes Ramos. Raul is there first. What a strike! Wow. Right out of the top drawer. Sky high quality from Marco Asensio. Fornals. Terrific pace here from Carlos Bacca, in for 2-0. Oh yes, eye-catching turn of pace there from the Colombian, who scores against his former club. Very calmly around Sergio Rico to add to Villarreal's advantage.
Tell you what, it's not so much the words, but the noises that come out of this man's mouth when he's watching other people score great goals. But I want you to both pick your favourite from that
Chema
list.
for me.
Chema?
The volley, left foot. He has no right to keep that on target. Where
Not bad for a defender, eh?
Not bad at all. It reminded me a bit of the one from Van Persie at Charlton, away from home.
OK, Guillaume?
Sasa, he was against Real Madrid. Varane holds the ball and then turns and then just... why doesn't that happen more often? I guess it's better defended. I don't know. I don't know why you don't see it more often, but it's a typical striker's goal.
I see. Great move.
Let's talk a little bit about transfers, because not too long until the January window opens. Guillaume, tell us a little bit about Real Madrid's search for a new goalkeeper.
So they want 2 new goalkeepers, and they are thinking of getting Kepa, 20 million euros by a clause. Kepa is thinking, if I stay at Athletic Bilbao, I may not play because my contract finishes at the end of the season. So if I don't play, I don't go to the World Cup. So it may be a good idea to go to Real Madrid, even though he wants to finish the season with Athletic Bilbao. But it's not guaranteed he will play there because Navas will be the number 1. But Kepa is one, and Real Madrid wants Courtois. I've got the impression that Courtois will be happy to go to Real Madrid. And because Chelsea knows about it, I think they will make a deal now for next summer. But Real Madrid have to start negotiating that because it hasn't happened yet. But Courtois has got his girlfriend, 2 kids, back in Madrid, and I think he's dreamt with the possibility of going back.
As for Barcelona, when you get Ousmane Dembele back, and of course Messi is there, where does Antoine Griezmann fit into all that?
Well, he can fit. I mean, you want big players in big teams, and if you have the option of, for example, today we said that they were a bit short on the bench. If you can have, I'm not saying he will be on the bench, or Dembele will be on the bench, but if you can alternate, rotate at times, and with those guys, I think Griezmann can fit in any team in the world at the minute. So what I'm saying is, I was saying to Guillaume Offer, sorry, you want big players in big teams, and so if he goes there, I'm sure the Barca guy will welcome him. If
Barcelona want Griezmann, no doubt about it. They're willing to pay the 100 million euros that will cost from the 1st of June. They've met his family, even his sister, who looks after his financial affairs. That's what Atletico Madrid have gone to FIFA and said, this is not supposed to happen, especially when we're fighting for the league. But Barcelona has got as number 1 target at the same level as Coutinho, but that kind of target, Griezmann. But I think they cannot get both Griezmann and Coutinho.
I knew that name was going to come up. It's the name that never goes away, isn't it? Philippe Coutinho. Will he, won't he, be joining Barcelona? And in fact, how would he be received at the Camp Nou were he to come? Well, Guillaume asked Ivan Rakitic recently.
Every good player is welcome. So we have to say that the doors are open for every good player. And Coutinho, he's a good player. With all the respect to his club, to Liverpool and his fans, we will be really happy if he can join us. But also with all the respect to say, if he will stay in Liverpool, wish him all the best luck in the world. So we have to think about the players. They are already here. I think that we have really a good team, so we have to do it in the best way together. If there will be an opportunity to do it with Coutinho or with another player, perfect. If not, so we will fight to do it in the best way.